Okay, Magnus, we're already summarizing the first half of the year. What are your takeaways?
Well, as all good things, there are three. Of course, I like it, and when we deliver a stable result, it's a slight improvement on last year. I think that's a lot of good work being done there. I like that very much. We see a lot of growth points where we grow with our customers. We invest in wind farms. We also grow in other sections, in services. I like that very much. And then also we display, we have shown that we are working with cost efficiency, cost control, looking at where we can really take costs out of the operations, both in hydro, and we're looking at our internal services. And then we also have delivered several proof points on the purpose to make a climate smarter living for our climate smarter living for our customers and for the world around us. And we have just started cooperation with Cementa about making cement without CO2 emissions. We have several other cooperations that we're doing. So I think this is really going in a good way.
Stefan, just a year ago, the situation for Vattenfall was very different.
Yeah, indeed. We had last year, as you know, some very major one-off items. One was, of course, the whole debate around lignite. At this time of the year, we had a decision to move forward. We have had the whole discussion around the German energy framework and the nuclear exit direction, which is also now cleared. And of course, we had still debates on the Swedish energy agreement, which was finally concluded. And all these three areas, you could say, as we have told already at the end, we could basically clean from the table. And of course, you also see that in the numbers.
So what has been the impact on Vattenfall putting these issues behind?
One of the major financial impacts, of course, that we have no longer this very heavy one-off items or items affecting comparability, as we call them. So we now see that the underlying EBIT and the reported EBIT is getting much, much closer together as it should normally be, so we don't have these impacts. And also good news is that also the external market, in that case the rating agencies, have acknowledged that and given us a stable rating outlook. So that means they also acknowledge and appreciate the stability that we have created through these major events. So that's all good news for Vattenfall.
So a more stable financial situation?
Absolutely. Stable still, I would say, at the lower edge of what I would feel perfectly happy about, but I think indeed stable.
So, Magnus, also from a results point of view, we are seeing a more stable development since a few quarters back. Do you see some light in the tunnel or the end of the desert walk?
I think, end of the tunnel or end of the desert walk. Yeah, I certainly think things are better, much better. But I think it's very important not to relax. That's why I don't like this expression that they are over. I think we will now just put more efforts into things, and we have lots of different opportunities. But it's more stable, and I think we have that as a good platform for when we want to go forward. We can feel that, and we can feel support from that, and then can do more things to create value for the company and for our owners for the future.
Stefan, do you see any major or structural issues that remain for Vattenfall that need to be addressed going forward?
Of course, there's still a number of exposures we have as a group. We're still heavily exposed to commodity frameworks, so we are not proof against further deterioration in margins. So that means also our asset base needs to work as efficient as we can. We know that we have a falling interest environment that has an impact on our provisions in the nuclear and also in the pension area. So there are some things at the horizon that we then still need to focus very strongly on our performance, on our cost performance and quality performance. So that will remain. As I said, we are not yet in a comfortable zone in that sense, so we need to be sharp, and as we have seen in the last years, it can always go further down, so we shouldn't be too excited. But it's in our own hands to a large extent.
Magnus, we've seen a lot of really exciting things happening during the last half year. We entered the UK retail market. We also announced several important deals where we actually support and help our customers or others to reduce their carbon footprint. So what is the potential of all this?
I think we see a very interesting development going forward where we can see electrification as a solution to a lot of climate issues, and where Vattenfall is heavily involved in heat, in transportation, helping industry to become climate friendly by using electricity instead of CO2 emitting technologies. So I think we're entering an era where we will see much more growth opportunities. Which of them we will have to take care of, we will have to discuss and organize ourselves around. I think we will see a development where we will have to be much more active, and where we also have to be active on all sides, not only growth sides, but also on the cost and efficiency side, because otherwise we won't be able to deliver the end result. I think there will be plenty of potential for us to grow further.
So more to come in the near future?
We will see what comes out. Of course, we are now making also e-mobility its own business unit. And we're also making solar its own business unit within wind. So we see paths where we will continue to grow, and what is around the corner, of course, I don't even know yet, but we should seize the opportunities that we see are fit for us to handle. I think that things are going to happen, of course.
So Stefan, we've seen a stable development so far this year. What do you see coming up, or what do you see for the remainder of the year?
At the moment, we just had our half-year review meetings, of course, with all the BAs last week. Things look quite okay, so we hope that we can deliver on the plan that we have created last year. So in that sense, we are well underway. And I think just coming back on what you said, Magnus, this capability building, I think, for what we want to do going forward, I think that's an important part to focus besides the performance aspect that, of course, we always maintain.
So Magnus, how do you see the rest of the year?
Well, I think it's very important that we keep up the good work we're doing now. And of course, I expect that and hope that we will be able to show the same positive result when we finish the year. I think that's very important because we want to pay a dividend also to the owner. We haven't done so for several years. But then we need to keep this the view of really trying to keep costs down, as I think you referred to earlier, in combination with looking at the opportunities we have. And there are things, but specifically what will happen, I don't really know, of course. But the good work that is being done right now continues.
Thank you both, and have a good summer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Too. Same to you.